We will continue. Following TriMet Board meeting.
10-58, authorizing a contract with Tempest Technologies LLC for audio-visual equipment design, maintenance, and support services. General Manager DeSutte.
President Simmons, members of the board, this resolution concerns audio-visual equipment and support services for critical and non-critical functions within our Operations Command Center and our Backup Operations Command Center. So you'll hear me refer to them as OCC and also BOCC, which is the Backup Operations Command Center. These centers monitor vehicle movement across the TriMet system, and it requires around-the-clock support due to the around-the-clock operations that we perform. In addition to the OCC and BOCC, Tempest will provide the AV equipment, design, maintenance, and support at all TriMet facilities, including Center Street Operations Headquarters, our administrative headquarters, the Public Safety Office, and our Ruby Junction facilities, and for all of our garages and offices. TriMet issued a competitive request for proposal for this contract, and our Source Evaluation Committee selected Tempest based on its technical proposal, competitive price, and suitability to TriMet's needs. The contract is for a total of $3.6 million over a 5-year term, and it includes a 10% allowance for potential change.
Why don't you just put in the total figure, including, you know, they always give the 10%. Whatever the allowance is, it always comes in. So just say it's for this, for the total amount. Forget the allowance, because they're going to always collect that. It's automatic. And then they go over that even. They find a reason to go over that. So let's just look at this for a minute here. I don't know. Don't they have this stuff? Tempest? What is this? TriMet has AV systems in emergency operations centers, training rooms, and all the large conference rooms. Tempest will provide AV equipment, system design, evaluation, implementation of new equipment. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, you know, the diversity. Look. Ooh. The SEC was unanimous. $3.6 million. Yeah, we got money for everything. Everything over there. Does it work? Who cares?
Change orders. However, the total amount of expenditures will be based on goods and services that are actually required during that time. The value of the contract is included in a line item for our IT operating budget for FY23. Taking a look at diversity, Tempest has 42 employees, 7% of the workforce is minority, and 21% is female. Your approval of the resolution is recommended.
That's not very many. What the hell are you talking about? Only 7% minority? That's like nothing.
Thank you, General Manager DeSutte.
Look at how see how he leans back. Watch his body movements when he gets done with his little presentations. He's quite proud of himself. Okay, watch him closely when he gets done with his little presentation. Watch his body movement. It's fascinating.
Motion to.
Let me see this. There's nothing. I mean, who knows what. Okay, so the contract is $3.7 million, because of course they have that, and another $3.7 million, $370,000 later. So the contract is $4,300,000. $4,300,000. Yeah, why not? Right? We got plenty of money. Let's spend it over here. Who's this guy? Who's that?
Approve this resolution.
So moved.
Thank you, Director Lewis. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Director Way. It's been moved and seconded. Are there any comments? Director Edwards.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just have a question in regards to the other bidder, Cochran. on what their numbers were in regard to diversity on this contract.
Okay. Les, can you come up?
Come up, Les. I don't know the answer. Let's see.
Ethan, you may want to come up with him as well.
Here it is.
Good morning. I'm going to be 0 for 2 this morning. Cochrane is a contractor for our facilities maintenance department. They have an on-call electrical contract with us, but we do not collect the information for companies that we're not awarding a contract to. But I can follow up with you because they have another contract with us. So I'm sorry
right
for not being
here.
able to answer your question again.
What are you talking about? It says right. You don't know your own. It says right here. Qualifications of proposer, staff, and diversity. It says right here. Okay, 25 for Cochrane and 29 for Tempest. What do you mean you don't know? It's in your goddamn. It's right here. You don't even know your own thing. Jesus.
But I can get it to you as a follow-up if that's okay.
That's okay at this point in time. But I guess going forward, it'd be nice to know what those numbers were up front.
For everybody that responds?
Yes.
Okay. We can start to include that.
They have it here. What's the matter with you people? They have the points right there.
Information going forward.
Thank you.
And manufacturers of products, Director Lewis, so that next time we could have that information for you so that I don't have to fumble up here with a non-answer.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys, you six-figure executives, you don't have to know. You're just getting paid to be big shots.
Okay. Seeing no other questions, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Motion
Yeah,
carries.
of course it
Thank
carries.
you.
It always
Two.
carries. All right,
Next
what's
resolution is
next?
22-10-59, authorizing a contract with TransDev Services, Inc. for paratransit eligibility assessment services. General Manager.
Yeah, this is pretty disgraceful if you ask me. This should be, TriMet has outsourced everything. All of these things should be in-house, but it's all outsourced because it's a neoliberal organization, which means it exists to create profit for private business. And TransDev is huge. It's like international in scope. And they're gonna do the lift evaluation. You can't even do that in-house. You know what a disgrace TriMet is.
Dessou.
President Simmons, members of the board, as you are aware, we contract with TransDev for Lyft paratransit services. This resolution will allow us to also contract with TransDev for the assessments for those applying to use Lyft.
Look at how much they're going to give them for this. $7.6 million. And of course, there'll be more than that. For them to process applications for Lyft. Gee. And I don't like it at all.
Lyft. These assessments determine whether individuals under the American with Disabilities Act are eligible. I should note that the pool of companies that can provide these services is extremely limited. In fact, this is the first time in the past 3 solicitations that TriMet has received more than one proposal. The proposals came from the nation's 2 largest firms. TransDev emerged as the higher proposal. The Source Evaluation Committee requested a best and final offer from TransDev and received a price of $7.6 million, which was determined to be fair and reasonable. The contract covers a 5-year term, and the services are included in the Accessible Transportation Program's ATP FY23 budget. TransDev's national workforce includes more than 16,000 people, with 78% minority and 27% female. I recommend your approval.
Thank you, General Manager Dessou. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Thank you, Director Baumann. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Director Way. Does anyone wish to make a comment before we vote? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Discussion?
Motion carries.
See, these are your sock puppets. No discussion. Put the resolution in front of us. We approve. No discussion. Tell us what you want. We give it to you.
Next is Resolution 22-10-60, authorizing a contract with Custom Truck One Sources Incorporated for the purchase of a workhorse rail car mover. General Manager DeSue.
President Simmons, members of the board, this resolution seeks authorization for a contract to purchase a workhorse rail car mover, and I'll talk about this in a moment, for our light rail system.
Yeah, keep buying junk. Buy junk. Buy junk. No service. Buy junk. Sorry, we don't have any service, but we got lots of equipment.
This is mission critical
Mission
and a highly specialized emergency rescue
It's more mission critical than actually having light rail service. That's actually reliable.
vehicle that can lift or move trains and components and remove vehicles from our MAX right away during an emergency situation. TriMet currently has one of these vehicles, and it's known as a Brant truck. The one that is in use is functional but aging and requires frequent and costly repairs. And I can tell you, over the last year, we've dealt with quite a few repairs and non-starts and emergencies, and it was pretty frustrating to deal with. It barely passed its federal safety inspection this year, and furthermore, the current Brant truck cannot comply with the new state of Oregon environmental regulations requiring modern emissions components and diesel trucks by 2030.
That thing hardly ever gets used at all anyway. Why would that be part of your emissions thing? How often do you use the Brant truck? Only when there's a goddamn derailment or breakdown.
It's old with mechanical issues, outdated. Therefore, the resolution seeks an authorization for the purchase of a workhorse rail car mover as a second rescue vehicle to supplement the Brant truck. One would be housed at our Ruby Junction on the east side, and the other will be housed at El Monica on the west side for more of a timely response to incidents, no matter where they occur on our MAX system. Custom Truck is a leading provider of specialty railcar equipment and has a workhorse vehicle available that can be delivered to TriMet within 6 months. This is a sole source contract requesting
6 months? Jesus Christ.
$1 million for the vehicle, plus a 10% change order related to potential supply chain issues. Custom Truck
Right. You notice how every single one of these resolutions has an extra padding put into it. That's how a pork barrel works.
manufacture vehicles in Kansas City, Missouri. The company has about 2,200 employees, 31% of whom are minorities and 9% are female. Funding is included in the FY 2023 capital programs budget, and your approval of this resolution is recommended.
Thank you, General Manager
Did you see
DeSue.
that?
Is there
Did you see his body movement when he gets done? He's very proud of himself. He goes, look at me, man. Look at me. I am smart. I'm a general manager.
a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Thank you, Director Edwards. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Director Lewis. It's been moved and seconded. Does anyone wish to make a comment? I might pause for a minute just for the purpose of everyone in the audience and those that are watching virtually. The board has an opportunity to review these resolutions in advance of the meeting, and the reason why there aren't lots of questions that come during the meeting, it's not that there aren't a lot of questions, it's just that we forward them originally or first, and then they're posted for the rest of us to all see. So it's not that we're just rubber stamping things.
Oh, that's interesting that you just said that after. You know, you're supposed to conduct these discussions in public, okay? You're not supposed to conduct them privately. You're saying we're conducting all of our business privately. Oh, but we're not rubber stamping. We've already asked all the questions. But we ask the questions in a manner where the public can't hear what we ask them. And that's not transparency, folks. Yes, you are rubber stamping them. Yes, you are. And you've always rubber stamped them. There's never been a time you said no to a general manager resolution. Not one. Not once have you voted no. So yes, you are rubber stamping them, lady.
without asking lots of questions. I felt it was really important to make that point.
It's interesting. She just read my mind. I just said that, and she comes up with that.
A lot goes into looking at these
Yeah, sure.
resolutions.
We want the public discussion. Okay, you ask your questions at the meetings, not before the meetings, not in private.
Seeing that no one has a comment, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Hearing no one was opposed, the motion carries. Next is
I've had enough. It's all boring routine shit.